part of
You
Yeah,
see
you-
it, and so, like, in
Or just
personal.
You talking to me or Matthew?
I don't know. He transferred ownership of the Bates building, and I need to clean it up.
Ethan, how are you, sir?
Do I just rent one that can get dropped off
One,
on the
okay.
square for us?
Yeah, I just called Darlene and
Okay.
let her know you, cause she tends to kinda
Push away from it.
push away from it, so just let her know we spoke,
Oh,
it's
you're
on
on
the
solid
square.
waste boards.
Drop my influence and stuff.
That's close enough, and you keep them close, you know,
Yeah.
because if you don't watch it, you'll have some people running,
Yeah.
you know.
That's
That's
right.
close, you wanna keep them all closed, that way you
And
get
there's
them all
cameras
right.
up there.
As soon as Danny gets in here, I'll call it to order, cause we don't have a quorum until he walks in.
Yeah.
Somebody wants to throw something at him, Matthew, that's fine.
He's out there on the phone.
If somebody wants to throw them, maybe that's fine.
Yeah. Not often, but I'm tired. Christie, do you have the packet?
Yeah, what?
The packet,
Yes, sir.
okay. Here you go.
There he is.
Duck, I'm just giving you forewarning.
Christie, if you would call roll, please.
Jim Heron, Danny Clark,
Here.
Matthew Barnhill,
Here.
Steve Giannakis, Dusty Gordon,
Here.
Devin,
Here.
Ricky, and Becky.
Here.
All right, we have a quorum since Danny is gracious with his presence. Anybody got any changes, any additions, subtractions from the agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve it.
A motion to approve the agenda is submitted, and second by, Commissioner Barnhill. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, now it's time for public comment. Does anybody in the audience wish to speak? I didn't get a sign-up sheet out there. Hear none, we'll proceed. Since we did not meet, the first Monday of last month because the ice storm changed schedules around, minutes are in your packet from the January meeting. And, if you had time, well, you hadn't had time to look them over because you just got them. But if anybody has any changes, give you a little bit to look at them. If not, I'll accept a motion to approve the minutes from January the 5th. Got a motion by Commissioner Pickard, second by Commissioner Clark. He didn't raise his hand, but all right. Any discussion on the January minutes? Hearing none, roll call. I'm sorry, Christie, no. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right.
Holiday Preston.
Sorry about that. All right. I sent y'all a text, I think Saturday. Jordan had sent us an email last Thursday or Friday, can't remember which. And he sent us a 10-year plan, which is required by the state, and a renewal or this body approved annually, I think. I don't remember doing it that often, but I'd ask y'all if you had time to take a look at it. And it's in the packet, and Ricky Murray just joined us. And I'll turn it over to you to explain the needs and motives.
Yeah. I'm gonna turn it over to South Central to talk about the APR and the 10-year plan.
Do you guys mind if I sit? While I
Sure.
call them up? I work for South Central Tennessee Development District. I am funded by a grant from TDEC to provide solid waste technical assistance to the 13 counties in our district, which includes Hickman County. So every year we have to do the annual progress report and report basically recycling and diversion to the state so that they can calculate if you guys are meeting your recycling goals as compared to what tonnage you send to the landfill. They supposedly calculate that. This is just showing what you guys did for the year 2025. I made him a summary sheet to put on top so you guys could kind of see everything. All we do is submit these reports to show that you guys are in compliance pretty much with what they're asking, that you're making the efforts to recycle and providing convenience centers and things like that to your residents so that it's easily available for them to do so.
So that's the APR, which is in the packet. And then what y'all got in an email was the 10-year plan from 30 years ago.
The
and could-
10-year plan, they will actually be coming out with grants this year to help every county
Yeah.
a improved and new, up-to-date 10-year plan. So that should be rolling out in the spring, I think. Like he said, all the counties are still working off of 30-year-old 10-year plans. It's just been something that's kind of been put on the back burner. So I feel like it's important that you guys do that because times have changed and we are using new equipment and it's just a lot different now. So, and our landfills are filling up and not getting approved for expansions. And so Cedar Ridge is actually coming up for an expansion, which is the one in Lewisburg, in 2 weeks. So if you guys want to attend that meeting in Murray County.
TDEC's approving their permit?
No, it has to go before the board at Marshall Murray
Oh, okay.
for their, and it's an election year, you know, so that's gonna be a big deal. It's where, I don't know, I think you go take yours, some of yours goes there. Cedar Ridge, right?
Mm-mm.
No, it doesn't?
No.
But
So-
basically, the 10-year plan part, you're just saying that you're not gonna make any updates on that because
Yeah.
I don't feel like you need to, especially if you're creating a new one.
We're not making an update to our 10-year plan because they're giving a grant in several months to hire a consultant and go through like this big process to update it. And we haven't updated it
32 years.
Yeah.
in a while.
Will that happen before, September?
I think I think that might be the state's aim, but I don't, it's
And
been, no?
No. That way you don't have to pay attention, Dan?
Huh?
That way you don't need to pay attention to
Well,
everybody
that's what I was really wondering.
I don't see if the
I've got
grant
6
comes
more
out.
of these.
Yeah. The grant comes out in spring, they probably won't even award it until fall.
Oh,
or
okay.
summer, I
Yeah, that's
think.
right. Yeah.
Just being realistic.
The new due date is July 1, 2028 is the new plan update that's in the state legislature now. It passed all the subcommittees, so it's gonna pass.
Yeah. Like a 2-year thing.
Yeah, and it's got the funding attached to it, so.
So what do they
We
need
got
to do with the APR right now?
Right now, what you're approving is that there will be no changes made to the 10-year plan. And I gave a form for the mayor and the board chair. I don't know if you sent that to them or not, but I have something for them to sign that we upload just so showing that they approve. And then you're just approving his reporting on the annual progress report, which is numbers that he keeps and we just input.
So we're seeking a motion to approve the APR. We're seeking a motion.
Danny makes a motion to approve.
The annual progress report.
Progress report. Any second? Matthew Barnhill, second. Do a roll call on this one. Oh, is any discussion, any questions for anybody? Christie, do a roll call for vote, please.
Jim Heron, Danny Clark,
Yes.
Matthew Barnhill.
Yes.
C.J. Nakas, Dusty Jordan.
Yes.
Devin Pickers.
Yes.
Becky Bates.
Yes.
Ricky Murray.
Yes.
Alright, motion passed. Anybody want to change their vote? Okay, the approval for, necessary approval has been done, and is it next fiscal year is gonna have to be, the 10-year plan will have to be redone, updated, or,
Yeah, this next fiscal year, we'll be updating our 10-year plan.
now, last time it was updated was in what, 94?
The last time we did a 10-year plan was in '94, and then we've done
No,
2 or 3 5-year.
yeah, 94 was the original the 10-year plan that you sent us. And 2002 was the
Yeah.
5-year update, yeah. Anything else on that, Jordan? You need anything else on it?
I just wanted to say, Missy's leaving South Central Development District. I want to say thank you for helping out the past couple of years.
No problem. I'll be back in 24.
You wouldn't want to be gone and miss us that much, right?
I'll miss all my solid waste people.
All right, moving right along. Got the director's report. Jordan?
Got
Can y'all hear me all right? I'm stopped up. Got something?
We've got a statement of revenue and a statement of expenditures. And, y'all wanna read it? Usually I walk through it, but I got this today, so we can sit here together and read it, and then if anybody has any questions, I'll answer them.
I seen a letter thing out more, it said, I seemed like I seen it, I said, did you find a director or supervisor for them, or
Yeah.
guy working?
Got a couple, yeah, we got a foreman, I guess would be called, he's responsible for paperwork and watching the inmates.
Inmates, yeah. Plenty to do.
We got any questions for Jordan on the financial statement? Everything looks like it's going along pretty normal, right?
Yeah, everything's,
All right, take a motion to approve the financial statement. Commissioner Barnhill, motion. Commissioner Pickard with a second. Any other discussion? Need a roll call vote since it's got money involved, Christie.
Jim Heron, Danny Clark,
Yes.
Matthew Barnhill,
Yes.
Steve Dusty Jordan,
Yes.
Kevin Pickard.
Yes.
Ricky Murray.
Yes.
Vicky Bates.
Yes.
Motion carries, all voting yes. All right, Jordan, you carry on.
alrighty. We've got our, tonnage report. Just any questions about the tonnage report, let me know.
Is it up because of ice storm stuff coming in, or just up?
I think it's just, I mean, there's more freezers.
Hardwood's up, which wouldn't be storm related, but
Yeah, there's a lot of freezers and stuff like that coming in.
Is that included in the, you have a separate report on all the trees and chips and all that stuff going to be burned?
Yeah, there's a separate report in here for that.
Oh, you got, okay. Any questions on this tonnage report?
Did the four-way west double?
Right, it's just timing of the loads. you know, maybe we picked one up like the first couple days and then picked one up in the last couple days, you know.
So
So,
maybe 2 extra loads or at least
I was
one extra.
thinking about that.
Yeah.
You don't run a truck to the four-way west like you do the one at the east.
yeah, if it's 40 tons next month, then that would be alarming.
Okay, so it's liable to be a little bit low next month because of the timing of when the loads got picked up. That's all right.
Any other questions? All right, move on.
And this might help you, or help, actually, we don't break, in this landscape tonnage report, we don't break down the convenience centers, but if we did, you'd see like last month at four-way, we probably had 20 tons. And the one after that, landscape tonnage report is the Perry County summary sheet. And it looks like Perry County was a little bit busier this month as well. So. The sport tonnage report is for the ice storm. So we've received 668.18 tons of debris.
None of that will go in the landfill.
All that has been burnt. Yeah. Every bit of it.
You wanna wait until, new business, talk about what you and I talked about, the chip? What new business gonna?
It's a good chance to talk about that, yeah. This would be a good opportunity to talk about that. So
We had a conversation, he's about to reiterate, we had a conversation the other day about all the debris that's being picked up on the side, or taken care of on the side of the road, and, TDOT has got a contract with a contractor to, do that, and they've come to Jordan, to see about disposing of it, and Jordan is,
Yeah, they asked me how much it would be per cubic yard to dispose of it at our facility. $60 a ton, you know, and I said that probably won't work. And so then I talked around a little bit and figured out how much money we needed to replace the loader, and came up with $12 per cubic yard. And said tentatively, this is what we could charge you. This material is shredded trees, so we can't burn it. We'd have to like windrow it and compost it, or regrind it and sell it as mulch. And so at $12 per cubic yard, the amount of money we would receive from that would be like $450,000. I spoke to them a week ago and they haven't reached back out. If we put, our landfill has 70,000 cubic yards of space, and that would be like cashing out your 401k and paying like 90% in taxes, you know, so that's not a good option at all. But I've been seeing a lot of activity, and their truck activity from them, and I've been on 100 going towards Fairview. They have a staging area, and their piles are growing, and then you'll drive by the next day and they're gone. So I don't think they're going to bring it to us. I think they've found someplace else to take it.
and that would be all right unless we can make some money on it. If they won't take somebody else, we don't wanna take a loss, and like I said, pay 9% on the 401k cash without.
And for reference, 50,000 cubic yards is 31 acres a foot deep, or 1 acre 31 feet deep. That's like a huge pile. It's like a big old pile. So, and it would be very tough for us to find places to put that. It'd be everywhere.
Wasn't their first estimate like that you and I talked about, it seemed like it was larger.
If we charge $60 per ton for it, it would be like it'd be like $1,500,000.
I know, but what their estimated cubic yards, what they gave you, the estimate it was gonna be, seemed like it was more than what you just said.
It's 50,000 cubic yards.
I was thinking you said 100,000, they gave you an estimate of 100,000 cubic yards initially. Maybe I just misunderstood.
Yeah, it's 50,000 cubic yards. That's 31 acre feet.
Okay.
That's just the state.
It's the state, yeah.
What they're picking up off the state highway.
That's what
It
they're,
doesn't count what Ronald or anybody else is bringing to the landfill and you're burning, so
yeah.
we'll hit 100,
Oh, yeah.
we'll hit 100 or
Yeah.
more.
Yeah, but there's very little left if you burn it, and if we take it shredded.
Oh, no,
I mean, I've had some that catch fire and it burns forever.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter burn up either.
A lot of smoke.
All right. Anything for Jordan on that?
Moving on to the director's report. Good Friday is April 3rd, which is before our next meeting, so it's on here. And then, item 2 is our current year's billing, and I got it broken down on our report on the next page. We billed out $1,040,940, and right now, 220,485.04 hasn't been paid. That includes penalties, which half of that is penalties, and so the current year's unpaid, excluding the penalty, is $110,242.52, which brings us to a percentage that's been resolved from this year's bill of 89.41%.
Maybe that's a little better than in the past. Or is that about, I think it's a little bit better.
It's,
That's pretty good, 89%.
Yeah, it was up about 6 or 7% from last year.
yeah, it's 0.75% better than it was last month, so. But yeah, we'll probably get to 90% paid on time. And then the old money is, $750,000 from the past 32 years. We did not send out the escalation letters due to the ice storm. I spoke to the lawyer, he was uncomfortable sending them when we had planned to send them, and suggested that we do it at the beginning of March. So I said, well, if it's the beginning of March, might as well talk to the board about it before we send them out. Are y'all comfortable with us sending out escalation letters?
Folks had too much bad stuff happening to get, a nasty letter from us, or semi-nasty.
Yeah, I mean letters.
The mean letter.
Yeah. All right. And then the fourth thing I got here is, Jason, he's provided a proposal to help us with our getting a landfill permit, next fiscal year, so. And we had a trusted consultant that we used for 30 years, Joe House, and Joe House has stopped buying insurance and hasn't been paying on his license because he's retiring. And so he's serious about it. He's always said he's retired, but he actually retired. And so he recommended, and I think he gave Barge a lot of our information, like our drawings and stuff, and suggested that we go with Barge moving forward for our next permit. So, Jason, you want to talk a little bit about the time frame and
Yeah,
what to
I
expect
can.
on?
Yeah, so typically, you guys have been through this process before, I think, with that other small expansion. This is another, like 5-6 acre expansion. We'll do the most we can in that area just north of where the shop building is going towards the landfill. But it is about an 18-month process with the state. When you break down their timeframes, that's an entire year for them. They've got a review time plus public hearing times, and that's a total of a year of that time frame. And the rest is, is the 6 months or so that we actually need to do the actual physical work to basically, do the hydrogeologic information. A lot of it's already there, so we're gonna pull that together and then actually do the design drawings based on, how and what we're able to do based on groundwater and soil types that are out there to be able to move it forward. These are typically you know, fairly innocuous as far as the state, as far as the process and how, you know, the timeframe. This is not gonna be, you know, contentious. There will be several preamble things that we will need to do. You do have Jackson law. You are not exempt from Jackson law, from if you as a municipality. And so you will have to have that go to county commission and go through that process. In addition, this board will have to indicate that that you want the landfill, other than just saying, hey, we're gonna, you know, pay somebody to design it. You'll actually have to make a motion saying that you're authorizing the landfill to exist and that it's consistent with your, you know, 10-year plan, which it has been all this time since it's been operating out there all that time frame. But we'll need that letter in order to go with the, in order for TDEC to review that process. So there is some preamble work that can be done at any point in time. The most contentious one is usually the Jackson Law one, because that has a lot of public notice requirements that need to happen. People typically, you know, come out of the woodwork to understand what it is, and once they understand that it's just a demolition landfill, it's yours, and expansion, it typically, you know, goes fairly smooth. In the middle of that same process with Putnam County right now, and wrapping up the FAR process with Perry County on their demolition landfill. Theirs is taking a little bit longer because they've been a little stubborn in how they want to put groundwater monitoring wells in, but that's neither here nor there.
How long did it take Perry County to?
Well, we were able to complete our entire work process in less than 8 months. Perry County has been frustrated with having to do monitoring on a landfill, so they've held that up for almost 2 years by not putting their groundwater monitoring wells in. But that is up to that particular county mayor and his staff as to whether or not he wants to pay for that or not.
So 3 years to get a permit?
Yeah, they'll be right at 3 years because they finally have agreed to put the wells in. So.
Okay.
Yeah, but this should be a simple 18, but you know, this one will be a very quick and easy process. You already have a monitoring well in that area. It'll have to be replaced if we do shift down, but that, you know, that can be placed into a second phase as opposed to the first phase, so you can spread those costs out over time.
Yeah. And I've got your proposal in this packet, and it shows a professional services fee of like $60,000. And I think that is, you know, likely to change because the assumption in the proposal is that we won't have to do additional studies or laboratory testing.
On the soils there, yeah, we did make it an hourly, so that's not a lump sum or anything like that. So, you know, if we're able to do the design or other pieces, you know, quicker or faster, you guys get the benefit of that. If, you know, like as Jordan mentioned, if there's something that we come back and say, well, the existing information on the soils just isn't good enough, it's not gonna be acceptable to TDEC, then we'll have to, you know, we'll have to do that testing in order to get that in place. But right now, we're going with the assumption that the available hydrogeologic information you have on the soils and everything else out there is going to allow us to move forward without having to punch new holes in the ground.
Well, would there be additional to that 60,000? With what you're saying, if it's not acceptable, this would be higher than that, right?
It could be, yeah. I mean, the key is probably, you know, we're probably talking an additional round of bowel testing or something like that for the surface soils with Traco, which you guys have. So that's minimal. That's probably $4,000 or $5,000. If for some reason they forced us to put the well in advance, as opposed to being able to use some of the other data, then that's about a $10,000 item.
You wouldn't be opposed to us running additional studies through our books, right? Like if you were intending to hire like a drilling company to help us out, you would let us hire the drilling company.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Anything that we can do to help you save money, that if you've got a local, you know, somebody local and going that route, typically on our municipal work, we don't actually charge a markup on the sub-consultants or drilling fees anyway. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah. But yes, anything we can do to help, happy to help.
So like any questions about the permitting process, Jason's here to provide us information on the time frame permitting process for you to do landfill.
Is this there, like there's your building, is this space finally?
It's right here, ain't it?
Or it's just over here?
It's over there, yes.
Is that undisturbed previously, or was it? I'm unclear with, the city was all up here, I think, by the industrial road, right?
Yeah.
Their old landfill.
So it's undisturbed. There's, we built up a road on the side of it, so the southern bit of it has fill.
But beneath that,
Beneath it, it's undisturbed, yeah. And then I get the weeds, but there'll be, with this project, there'll be more, like last time we just started filling in the area. Since we're tight on space and this isn't the best spot for a landfill, but we're gonna make it work, there'll be some I'm afraid there's gonna be some construction costs. Like at minimum, we're gonna have to reroute some, stormwater drains and do some grading, which we may be able to do the grading ourselves, but, we'll have to reroute some stormwater drains, so. If we had the FAA land, you know, we just dig a pit and fill it in, I think.
So how many cubic yards or you think you could get in there?
Oh, it's a lot more than we got right now, so, probably 300,000-400,000.
Now you're talking about the FAA land, not
You talking about the
No,
proposed?
no. Okay.
No, just the one you're doing there. We'll try to max it out as much as possible to, you know, to gain as much area as we can, given the constraints of staying away from the building and then just trying to work through that drainage feature down through there.
Yeah. So I think phase one of the project would be, we have to characterize the site. So how deep is your groundwater? What kind of soil is in between the groundwater and where you're gonna put trash? And once you have that information about the area, then you begin designing your landfill, like the final grades on it. Because there's a bunch of rules about what the soil has to be like between your trash and your water. And so phase one is characterizing the site. We're hoping, we previously characterized this ditch before, and we've done a lot of work on this ditch, and we're hoping that we just give them that information, and they're like, all right, part one's done, move on to part two. But there's a chance that they could say, well, we want you to do additional work on the characterization of the ditch. And if they do that, that's when we would have like additional testing costs.
The good news is there's a current well right in the middle of that, so that helps in that we, you know, while we have to move it eventually in phase two of the construction process,
Yeah.
it gives us the groundwater depth right where we need it. So, and it is a small area; it's about 5-6 acres down there. So the hope is we can, you know, given the history, the amount of data that's already out there, we can, you know, work with TDEC to say that's enough information to be able to do this expansion, you know, in that area.
So anyway, this is all just information. We're not voting on anything, or y'all aren't voting on anything. But yeah, it would be, Becky, it's the area between the recycling center and the covered landfill.
Okay. So essentially, you want it to be a wet weather conveyance ditch, not a,
The Army Corps has determined that it's a ditch.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a big question last time, and it took a lot of work, because anyway, they have said definitively that it is a ditch, not a blue line stream.
And you've got a 5-year window from there, so that was like last year sometimes. You've got a 5-year window that particular determination holds in place.
Yeah. But we do need to move some stormwater drains.
Right.
Yeah.
Anybody got any more questions for either of the gentlemen? All right, thank you.
And next meeting's the 6th, if that's all right with y'all.
We got any, I think we've covered we don't have any, do anybody have any other business?
I had a question.
Yeah.
Mr. Baston, we look him up and clear his fees from December?
Yeah, he had paid previous, he'd been up to date until this last time. I think Christie has a resolution.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about the resolution. Y'all remember discussing the resolution on the liens, or on the exempt properties? intent is to have that for the March meeting, correct?
Summarize it.
Talk about it a little bit while you,
This is where they have to pay the filing fee to get the lien on.
Okay.
If you don't resolve your exempt property by October, then you gotta pay $30.
If we put a lien on it, they gotta pay the housing lien, because we
Okay.
can't pay.
well, we'll need to publish, well, that'll need to be advertised, I mean, put out so folks will publish it, so that folks will know, that, you know, that's the way we'll, you know, if it's, you know, they really should have already done something about it, but apparently several have not. From our last meeting, the last discussion we had a couple months ago. Rick, did you say?
I'll give it to
Not
you.
You're sitting back there being quiet.
We're gonna put the lien on and this is to put it on and take it off.
But it's just take it off if it's exempt property, right? Because if it was exempt, just pays us back for putting it.
Yeah.
Yeah, pays us back
Yeah.
for putting the lien on and taking it off.
And taking it off.
Will that cover taking it off too?
Right now, we send them across the hall to take it off themselves.
Well, that's the reason I was asking. I didn't have a problem with the way that we're doing it now. We're not gonna change that.
I think you need to add it more, and that way you take it off too, because they're gonna be, people ain't gonna understand if they pay this, then they probably ain't gonna know to have to take it off.
So we take the liens off.
Yeah, just figure out, might need to tweak it just to see.
Well, I was in there one day, somebody came in and did that, and Anita said, you gotta go across the hall, and they didn't have any way to pay the $11, $12, $15 that the register was gonna charge them.
I think we could take it off for them.
Or even if we have to add, make it add more money, to make somebody don't lose no money.
Yeah, it'd be $24 we pay 24 to have them added on, and then we pay 12 to have them added on, and then another 12 to remove it, and so at $30 or.
We still make it
it's
$6,
still
yeah,
fine,
yeah, we're still good.
So is everybody okay with the way this resolution is written? I told Jordan I would sponsor, we need another sponsor, from this committee if possible.
Go ahead, my name's not on anything in Casey's records.
You get that, Kristen? All right. Got anything else, any new business I think we've taken care of? No? Motion to adjourn. Second, and all in favor can leave or be ready for the next meeting or?